Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
The USC campus is deserted as students officially begin all their classes online. LA County is reporting at least 536 cases of COVID-19 and at least 33,400 cases in the US. Good evening, I'm Nicola Wenz reporting from Beverly Hills.
And I'm Caleb Michael reporting from Brentwood. Nicola, how are you holding up with everything? I mean, I'm not the most tech savvy. Everything's on Zoom. Work is on Zoom. We can't go to Annenberg anymore. How's it going for you?
Well, Caleb, it's definitely been interesting. I mean, all of our interviews are, like you mentioned, over Zoom. I think we're practicing the social distancing, and as journalists, it's kind of unusual to not go in person anymore. So I think it's definitely a new shift in the journalism world.
It is for sure. And, everyone in LA, including Annenberg Media, is practicing social distancing after Mayor Eric Garcetti issued a safer at home emergency order.
Under this order, people are asked to stay at home and just go out for essentials like grocery shopping, trips to the pharmacy, or to pick up takeout orders. People can go outside for a walk or bike ride as long as they stay at least 6 feet apart from other people. Today, students have started balancing school and work at home.
One of my friends who have been doing online classes, they'll send videos where guys or girls will be like at the pool or golfing or like I knew people, even USC people were already doing that last week during class. So I think there's definitely a lot more room for distraction. It's a lot easier to get on my phone. It just kind of depends on the class too. Like if the teacher's requiring a lot more engagement, then that's one thing. But if it's just a pretty simple pre-recorded lecture, and if like your video doesn't have to be on, or even if it does, people still do whatever they want. So
I actually don't mind a lot of them. Like for my GSEM, which was chemical forensics, it went totally online, like no lectures, just like online modules. And I think it makes way more sense for that course.
While COVID-19 has forced USC to shift to online classes, some university services do remain open. USC housing is open, but only to students who have university approval, and the health center and academic advising offices are encouraging virtual methods of communication. USC dining services also remain open for pickup only and on adjusted hours. Again, USC Housing is asking students to move out unless there is a need to stay. Students who do receive university approval to stay will have access to food but may be asked to switch rooms. Students without approval, along with students who already went home, will not be allowed to return to campus until the university establishes a safe and orderly procedure for students to retrieve all their belongings.
USC announced an option for students to change the grading basis for their classes this semester. Classes can be taken for a grade or pass, no pass. All undergraduate students are eligible to take classes pass, no pass, but must have at least a C- or above to pass. Graduate students will be notified by the dean of their school regarding grade changes. These grades will not affect a student's GPA. However, students must make a final decision on grades or pass, no pass by April 24th.
With the move to online classes, international students now face challenges and concerns of whether to remain on campus or to go home.
I just wanted to be precautious, and staying here was easier for me because in the end, if they made any changes to the border restrictions and flights, I wouldn't be able to come back in for when we resume classes. I would say that the main issue I'm having with this is that I'm in a freshman dorm, so there's not much space for me to do anything. Let's say if I want to do exercises, it's just a small space. But good things I would say is the fact that I have EVK, so food's taken care of, and the Wi-Fi is great. I can attend class same time zone.
Just the idea of waking up at 4 a.m. to 6 to take a class is pretty demanding. A lot of people aren't going to perform well just because of the restraints that these time differences. Just to think about what work I'm going to have to submit at what point in accordance with the time zone, and just being so far away from campus, I think has honestly been pretty challenging mental health wise.
I personally think self-quarantine in America is safer than taking the trip and going back to China. And also because of the time difference. Because I'm taking a lot of seminar and discussion-based classes. So if I go back, I have to like wake up in the middle of the night and take the classes. I feel like there could be more communication specifically targeted at international student communities. Because one of the biggest problems I'm having right now is like pressure from parents and like anxiety from them. Like I am doing fine, but like their anxiety does make me panic a bit.
LAUSD Superintendent Austin Butler announced this morning that all schools in the district will remain closed until May 1st. In the meantime, classes will be held online, and students have some mixed opinions about this.
First year at Santa Monica Community College, and we've been doing online learning since last Wednesday. It's been a little rough for myself to transition from in-class, in-person, into online learning. I chose those classes because I specifically wanted to have a lot of discussion and a lot of conversations with classmates. So those conversations are a little dull online.
Currently, I am not going to school right now because of the whole coronavirus and social distancing order, which is a little bit discouraging just because that means we'll only have a month in school till we graduate. And I was really looking forward to spending these days with friends and like teachers, but hopefully the whole situation resolves itself soon.
I'm currently taking 6 online courses. I just want this whole thing to be done with already because it's my senior year and I didn't think I was gonna end off like this. I feel very not motivated now because there's nothing to work for.
Butner says he plans to restore stability by taking care of the following 3 things: to help students learn, provide support to students and families most in need, and to take care of all teachers and staff.
Hi everyone, I'm Ella Katz, the political correspondent for Annenberg TV News, and I'm reporting remotely from Chicago. So let's take a look at the latest from the White House. Tensions are rising on Capitol Hill as the Senate tries to reach a consensus on how to best respond to the developing coronavirus. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell released a $2 trillion plan designed to stabilize our stressed economy. But not everyone on the Senate floor is happy about this. Just this afternoon, the Senate failed to advance the bill for the second time in a 49-46 vote, short of the 60 vote threshold needed. The bill would offer relief to American workers and businesses. It would even include direct payments of up to $1,200 for Americans who make less than $100,000 a year. Democrats say the bill disproportionately helps big businesses and needs more benefits to families and healthcare providers. Republicans claim the bill will help reboot the economy and prevent more people from losing their jobs.
If this federal government's making a big loan to someone, to a big company, we ought to know it and know the details immediately. The bill that was put on the floor by the Republican leader said no one would know a thing about those loans for 6 months at least. We've been guided by one plan: workers first. That's the name of our proposal. The bill needs to reflect that priority.
Absolutely mindless obstruction going on the other side. While the public is waiting for us to act, while people are losing their jobs, losing their income, and shutting down the economy, which we've had to do to deal with this public health crisis, they are fiddling around with Senate procedure that could, if one senator objected, take us all the way to the end of the week to solve this problem. I'm beginning to think our Democratic colleagues don't understand the procedure in the Senate.
Medical providers are in demand now more than ever. I'm Kelly Miller in West Los Angeles, where I talked to one physician assistant who also happens to be a close friend of mine. Eager to get on the front lines of the coronavirus, he's spent the past few days applying to medical positions across the U.S. to help fight this terrible battle. Redondo Beach local Eric Johnson is usually scrubbing in for surgery on Mondays. But for the past 5 days, he has been home, searching for part-time physician assistant positions.
I decided to apply for them mainly because I want to help out in the crisis situation. Since I'm a physician assistant, I have the luxury of working in any essentially any field that I want to. Most of them have been emergency departments, urgent cares, or critical care units.
Johnson works at a couple different medical offices in Los Angeles. Last week, he would have had about 10 procedures, but the coronavirus put those on hold. He says his patients were understanding.
I think they handled it well. A lot of them had stopped coming in for their appointments anyways, just because they were worried about the entire situation.
Under normal circumstances, medical providers can only practice in the state they are registered. But in an effort to bolster the nation's response to COVID-19, last week, President Trump issued a new regulation for medical professionals.
HHS is issuing a regulation today that will allow all doctors and medical professionals to practice across state lines.
Johnson says so far he has applied to positions in California, North Carolina, and New York. But interestingly, it has not been as simple as he thought it would be.
I essentially just do a Google search for any urgent care that's in the area that I live or surrounding areas, find their phone number, give them a call, and ask if they're hiring temporary or part-time per diem work during the COVID crisis.
Johnson says he is aware of the risk of working on the front lines.
There's always risk in healthcare. You're always risking being exposed to certain things, and I think anyone that got into healthcare kind of knew that inherent risk, and we've always been willing to take that risk.
Johnson says he will likely be offered a volunteer position before a paid position and will certainly take that offer. For Annenberg Media, I'm Kelly Miller.
During this time of crisis, it is important to take care of yourself. Mindful USC helps to empower the USC community by offering free training and classes. The benefits of mindful living include lowered stress, enhanced physical and mental well-being, and improved collaboration.
The Core Power Yoga has been huge. They have like a yoga on demand where you can still do yoga classes. At nights, we'll just like turn off our computers, shut down everything that we're doing, and we'll go downstairs and either watch a movie or play like a board game, or we just ordered a ton of puzzles. I think like the key to all three of those is like finding balance and not getting yourself so stressed out by like sitting at a computer all day.
With mindfulness, instead of like saying, why do I have this anxiety? What do I do about this anxiety? You just notice. So with just a 2-minute practice of just checking in with yourself inside, not outside, inside, people learn how to kind of check in with themselves, and then they go on with their lives.
To help get you through the stay-at-home order, here are some mindful tips you can practice at home. They include yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, mindful journaling, mindful music and listening, mindful eating, or going for a walk or a hike.
Hi, I'm Dawson Michelle, a reporter for Annenberg Media. I live in Redondo Beach, California. This weekend, tons of people crowded to the strands here, as well as in Hermosa and Manhattan Beach. Today I saw several people walking, running, and biking. At the 3 South Bay piers, Redondo, Hermosa, and Manhattan Beach, people appeared to not take the social distancing order too seriously. Statements from cities like Hermosa Beach have urged people to stay away from public areas and beaches. Hermosa has also closed the gates on its pier. Redondo and Manhattan Beach have also closed their parks, but South Bay residents continue to venture outside during this global pandemic. While activities like exercising outdoors are allowed, it's important for people to remain at least 6 feet away from all other people they encounter.
My name is Elizabeth Islas with Annenberg Media Sports, reporting from my hometown of Los Baños, California. So let's just jump into today's sports news. USC Athletics officially canceled Pro Day 2020 due to California's mandatory stay-at-home order. Pro Day was going to be a second chance for receiver Michael Pittman Jr. and offensive tackle Austin Jackson to show their talents to the NFL scouts. For players that didn't get invited to the NFL Combine, like linebacker John Houston Jr. or defensive lineman Christian Rector, Pro Day was their only chance. Their draft is still scheduled to happen on April 23rd through the 25th, but it will not be held in Las Vegas. Instead, it will be done in studio remotely. And with the NFL draft just 4 weeks away, USC has no plans to reschedule Pro Day. The International Olympic Committee is beginning discussions on how the 2020 Tokyo Olympics might look amid the coronavirus pandemic. USA Today reported that IOC member Dick Pound confirmed that the games will be pushed to 2021, but this information has not been confirmed by the IOC. On Sunday, the IOC released a statement saying they, quote, will start detailed discussions to complete its assessment of the rapid development of the worldwide health situation and its impact on the Olympic Games, including the scenario of postponement. Team USA's track and field team joined USA Swimming in urging for Olympic postponement. They feel their athletes are not able to train in a safe and proper environment due to the pandemic. USA Track and Field said they are, quote, respectfully requesting that U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee advocate to the IOC for postponement of the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. So far, the Canadian and Australian national teams have announced they will not be sending athletes to Tokyo in 2020. And as of now, there is no official word from the IOC on if the Olympics will be postponed, but they will have a plan in place by April 19th of this year. One thing is for certain, though, the Olympics will not be canceled. And since sports are at an essential standstill right now, athletes of all kinds are sticking to social media to share their quarantine activities. From Instagram to Twitter to new platforms like TikTok, athletes are showing their fans what they're doing to keep themselves entertained. LeBron James and his family took part in a TikTok trend and shared it on Instagram. Take a look.
Baby, come give me something, oh. Baby, come give me something, oh. 'Cause I can't stop loving.
Other NBA talent like Chris Paul participated in the viral push-up challenge on Instagram. Over the weekend, some USC athletes like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Tyler Vaughns were also challenged to do the 10 push-ups. And some athletes like former USC star Juju Smith-Schuster are posting their exercise routines on Instagram. It encourages their fans to still be active even when being quarantined and practicing social distancing. There's still no information on when sports action will continue, but in the meantime, keep expecting those athletes to create hilarious TikToks. That's it for sports. Back to you guys at news.
And your Monday on a lighter note, today is National Puppy Day. Our pups are the perfect companions during this time, and I'm sure they're loving all the extra time we're spending at home. So in honor of National Puppy Day, we asked our followers on Twitter to send us pictures of their precious pups. Here's what we got.
I sent a picture of my dog, Teddy B. We got him for Christmas, so he's been a lot of fun. But I think it's great that it's National Puppy Day, something light, in these times. People have to have something to get encouraged about, you know what I'm saying?
I do know. I wish I was with my puppy, but there's a travel ban, so I can't cuddle him just yet, but soon.
Soon.
When things get back to normal.
When they get back to normal, soon enough. So thank you so much for watching Annenberg Media. We will continue to post news here on the Annenberg Media YouTube channel.
And of course, for all of our continuous coverage on the COVID-19, you can head to uscmedia.com. Thank you and have a good night.
Good night.